We are rocking and rolling as we do every Monday, 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. We're a tiny bit early. We're the Podguyz podcast. I am Tony Kaz.
Kevin Neary here. And Tony, as always, we are presented to you by merchbooth.com, providing all of your merchandising needs for the Podguyz podcast, t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, muscle shirts, anything that you also need. Tony, we also have a new sponsor now, brand new sponsor. Just sealed the deal with them about 4 or 5 days ago. Ocean Gate Fireworks. So sounds familiar. These are the same people that did the Titanic tour thing. They are now selling fireworks. I am told to read these lines out here. Fireworks that are safe and effective, controlled by remote. So there you are. That can't go. Right. It's safety right there. Now, these guys are known for underwater damage, Tony. Nothing wrong with the air, though. Nothing wrong with the air.
No. I heard implosions only, which is good.
Yeah, well, they're good with implosions, so the explosions must also be just fine. You know. So big shout out to Ocean Gate Fireworks.
Is it too soon?
No, it's not too soon, because if you're looking for your firework needs, you call up Ocean Gate, and they have the fireworks department for themselves. Any other news on Ocean Gate there, Tony?
So I guess Ocean Gate. Ocean Gate's got some stuff going on with it. Hold on 1 second.
For fuck's sake, man. Sorry. I said, do you have the
story? I know. Am I ready? No, I'm not ready.
No, of course not. No, I say
there's literally
give them 10, 15 minutes. I got it ready. Yeah, Ocean Gate is still advertising dives to the Titanic shipwreck on its website.
As of today. Oh, God. $500,000 tickets. Yeah. They're still advertising dives to the Titanic shipwreck on its website. The deep sea adventuring company is listing 2 missions to the shipwreck in June of 2024. Earlier this month, one of the company's submersibles, it imploded with 5 passengers on board, all billionaires. Crazy.
Yeah, there's that old joke going around. Kind of sounds like it's a new joke, but it's an old joke. What do you call 4 billionaires dead underwater?
I don't know. What do you call 4 billionaires underwater?
Okay, a good start. Did you hear that one? No? That's okay. Yeah, earlier this month, one of the company's submersibles imploded with 5 passengers on board. I'm sorry, 5 billionaires. But yeah, they're not doing that. They're not doing that great. I would buy their fireworks though, because what's the worst that could happen with fireworks, Tony?
Explosions.
Cool. Any firework accidents at all that you have in great detail?
No, you can scour the web for some great material.
Do it yourself.
Just do it yourself.
You go ahead. You fucking.
Firework explosions. Of course, they have the one of the most famous videos that you've ever seen. Of course, with a Wheelchair Terry. Wheelchair Terry. If you haven't seen it, check it out on YouTube. Wheelchair Terry, of course, is a hilarious video on YouTube of Terry, who is a paraplegic, or he's got some sort of leg problem. And he goes and he lights some fireworks, and they're exploding right next to him while he's in the chair, and they're all laughing while he's trying to get his hand to hit the lever, and the fireworks are exploding on him as they're going off next to the wheelchair, and making him pretty much blind as well as burned all the way across his arm.
Yeah, that's the thing though. I've been watching every fireworks gone wrong video because they're super addicting. to just go one by one with the
Hilariously
idea.
funny.
Every time now, when you read your fireworks packaging, they always say stand at least 20 to 30 feet back.
Yeah.
People in these videos, 10 feet.
Looking down the barrel.
Caution the wind. The barrel. It's right there. So they'll the one that I shared on the Podguyz podcast page on Facebook was the woman is there. She gets her kid out of the way real quick after this fireworks started going haywire there, Tony, right? Did you see the video? Yeah.
I have seen the video. Really funny.
There's an oil spill underneath one of the cars. The car blows up. It catches on the house. The house starts going down in there in fire. What we're trying to say, people, is what you're going to want to do is go to oceangate.com/fireworks. Okay? Because if anyone knows something about safety, well,
it's got to be OceanGate.
Now, if anyone knows something about safety, starting last week, it's OceanGate.
Yeah.
So give them a call. They'll hook it up for you. Worst case scenario.
That's very quick.
Worst case scenario, they'll just use some of that Titanic water to put it out with.
I heard they're selling it on online for $5 a bottle.
Yeah, we should sell some Titanic water. Now to come to think of it, right?
We're missing our calling. $1 million ideas.
Yeah, ripping people off on eBay. I don't know if that's much of a calling right there, but a happy 4th of July. Tony, do you have anything ready for the 4th of July or no? So yeah, waking up, breathing, plans. Any plans at
breathing.
all? You want to make something up? I'll fucking believe you, dude. So I'm gonna be going out with some. I mean,
no, it sounds horrible. I'm working for 4th of July, while everybody else is on vacation, enjoying their time with their family. So I mean, I have that.
There you go. Well, This is gonna be our 4th of July.
I'm glad the explosions are like a
well,
a
no,
flash.
it's kind of like when when people say it's kind of like when people declare their day of the week. Oh, today's my Friday. No, it's not.
No,
it's not.
No.
Oh, well, you know what I mean. No, because you could just
Devin, I'm trying to segue into the next segment.
Go ahead.
See, fireworks are much like a flash.
A bang, a boom.
No, I'd say more like a flash.
More like a flash. Yeah. What about a flash, Tony?
Oh, our buddy is in the news one more time. Good old Ezra Miller.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Good old Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
Doing his thing.
Fan favorite for the Podguyz podcast. It seems like every week he's always got something new, something going on. Good old Ezra Miller actually loses his harassment protective order amid the DCU box office disaster.
Now, you and I predicted that the movie would be terrible anyways. It was just it was already aligned. The stars were aligned for this movie to fail. Warner Brothers was involved. Discovery Channel was involved. Michael, when they're sending in a Super Bowl ad where Michael Keaton dresses up like Batman, you know that's a red flag. You're like, dude hasn't worn the suit in years. No offense, it was doomed. See, what they do is they don't even start with the origin story of Flash. They just assume that people want to be stuck right in the middle. They had no plot line at all. Tons of cameos. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad all around.
It's always bad. Always bad.
If anyone out there is listening or watching right now, you don't need to see the movie at all.
The only person watching right now is Joe Armstrong.
Well, hello, Joe Armstrong.
And he asked, he's like, hey man, tell these guys to let me hop in.
Get him on here then. Send him on an email there, Tony.
I will be happy to. Continue on for 1 second and I'll get the Armstrong.
Absolutely. So Ezra Miller is listen, he has a very unique way to portray a character. I don't know, man. I think it's very much over for the Flash franchise. All the Flash can really do is run fast anyway. So it's nothing nothing 1,000% to do. I shared my disdain with the new fucking Indiana Jones movie. Not a fan. I'm sorry, man. It's we got some coverage here on the things that broke people always have, Tony. Things that broke people always seem to have. But yeah, so no cookouts there, Tony. Did you get this kids? Did you get your kids any sparklers?
Nothing.
Are your
Nothing-
family
nothing
members
in
doing
general.
anything? Is anything
No,
that
we're
any
doing
family?
nothing. Like
This is
zero.
I'm telling you right now. All right, let's back it up. This is your moment to improv. Okay. So the next words cannot be a no. So let's rewind it. All right.
Sorry, continue on.
So Tony, any of your friends have any plans that you know of? You already told us that you were a cat's out of the bag. You said you're working and all that nice stuff, right?
I am
Any
working.
of your
Yes.
friends or family doing anything for the 4th of July?
I have 0 friends, zero family.
Wow. Whose line is it anyways?
No, you know what? It should be a great holiday. Of course, like we usually hang out with the kids and we take them to go see fireworks in Scranton, Pennsylvania. They have one of the best fire displays in the area, and usually pretty cool, you know. But
yeah.
I mean, other than that,
Hey, Tony, you're a big sports fan. Did you see all the firings from ESPN?
I did actually. I did see all the firings from ESPN, and you know what? I'm okay with them wiping the slate clean. I'm okay with it. You not so much.
So Max Kellerman, I think, could have been utilized better. Stephen A. Smith, listen, they're trying to capture a demographic there, and it's not me. It looks nothing like me, the demographic that they're
Zero.
getting with
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith. They're trying for the black demographic there with Stephen A. Smith, and they're trying with that with Kendrick Perkins, and they want the younger crowd with the Pat McAfee. So if anyone has watched the WWE or seen him do anything, this is what they're trying to do. And I get it. Steve Young, though, you want your competition to have Steve Young, and while you hold on to Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Also, biggest problem I have of it, our phones never rang the whole time.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually kind of true. That's a little sad for me.
Yeah. No, it's not like we're on their radar at all.
No,
If we are
no,
though.
we should
They
be.
would. If we are though, they should totally let us know. We could talk. We could talk about any.
Yeah, the Podguyz podcast, the Podguyz PODGYZ podcast.
Well, Tony, I'm just guessing here. but
Gmail.com.
I'm guessing that they wouldn't allow the Podguyz podcast to be over the channel of ESPN.
I mean, that would be great.
Just a guess. They wouldn't say, we're changing ESPN over to now name it the Podguyz podcast. In fact, if they did that, they'd probably just buy our names and our likenesses and replace us with better looking versions of us. Which still, in retrospect, isn't even that good looking to be honest.
Did you see that blah, 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 blah. Alan Arkin passed away?
I did. Yeah. And that's, it's nothing. Every movie that Alan Arkin was ever in.
I like how you're just like,
Well, it did. It hits you like,
Did Hollywood lose a great star? Yes. Great. Not an amazing star.
Listen, I've never watched an Alan Arkin movie where I'm like, Alan Arkin, this fucker. God damn it.
Or
What's
even
wrong
what
with
his
this
name
guy?
was when he actually acted.
And I've also never watched an Alan Arkin movie where I said to myself, Alan Arkin, you changed my life.
No, wasn't he in he was in some sort of cop show too Was it NYPD or was it like
Yeah, I mean, why speculate? I know that it was in Little Miss Sunshine where he played the grandfather who died, and that was filled in with stars. I think maybe he was in Glengarry Glen Ross. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe not. But very forgettable on a lot of stuff. But there's the Barbie movie though. Now, Tony, now that's an impactful movie right there. Whoa. The Barbie movie.
Whoa.
Margot Robbie as Barbie, and who the fuck cares as Ken? But not everyone was welcome for the Barbie movie. Did you see about this or no? So
no,
Variety
what happened?
Oh my God. So the usual suspects of countries banned the Barbie movie. Authorities in Vietnam have banned commercial screenings of Barbie, the Warner Brothers film starring Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. One of the most anticipated movies of the summer was said to have been released in the country on July 21st. The film contains a scene that depicts a map with the 9-dash line, a representation of China's territorial claim in South China Sea, which Vietnam says violates its sovereignty.
I'll tell you who has a map of this particular area.
Do we have Mr. Maps on himself? Joe
we
A.
do
on
have Mr. Maps on.
Should have started him as the replacement of Sparky right there.
Yeah, we're gonna get this started up, but watch as we get this started up because we're already started up.
Yeah. So Vietnam says no to the Barbie movie. And that's kind of weird. You know, it's kind of weird, Tony. It's kind of weird that they would even focus on that part of the map where Barbie has a map that somehow creeps over into fucking Asia. Joe Armstrong with us right now. Joe, is Barbie the movie acting as a Chinese slap in the face to the Vietnamese? Because we all know how much China is involved in the movie business right now. Yeah. Do you think that the Chinese government did that intentionally so that way the little girls in Vietnam felt slighted by the Barbie movie?
I never watched a Barbie movie, Kev, so I can't really comment on it. But
I never watched it either, there, Joe, but they're saying in this Variety article right now that Margot Robbie, that there was a 9-dash line, a representation of China's territorial claim in the South China Sea. It says, which Vietnam says it violates its sovereignty. Now, why ever they would zoom in on that part of the movie or even have it in the movie? This is about Barbie. Why has Barbie got a fucking map of China?
I don't know. Now I kind of want to watch it. No,
it's kind of weird, right? Happy 3rd of July. Happy 3rd of July.
4th. Nah, happy 4th. Thanks for having me on, guys.
No problem. You know what? We were like, I'm like, oh man, Joe's commenting that he wants to get on.
Thanks for popping in. I was asking Tony some questions about his 4th of July, and he's acting like a shy guest. Oh, cool. Nothing then. Well,
I really have nothing going on. You expect too much out of me.
Yeah. Hey, man. That's one thing I got to start lowering my expectations of myself because I'm getting up there too much, you know?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
But
I get too many invitations and I don't know what to do. So therefore God, I'm not gonna do anything.
I have 8 invitations and 7 of them are from dwarves. One's sleepy, one's angry, one's happy. And the other one is from ex-president Barack Obama. He invited me by mistake to his house. You see, Tony, none of that was real. Sounds kind of like filler interesting though. Where you could say something like, really, Kev, Barack Obama? And I could say, yes, Tony, he said to me, oh, wait, I got him on the phone right here. Hold on. What is he saying? Oh, I'm going to be fined for healthcare. He told me I couldn't afford. Amazing. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for adding to my health problem by now making me homeless because I can't afford rent now. Yeah.
It's a good way for the government to get money for not having money.
The doctor told me he said, listen, you got to stop working so much. You're working yourself to death. This is creating health problems. I said, Doc, you don't understand. If I don't work this much, I can't see you. Like I was told the law said I had to.
Can we get into the funny part of that whole situation? All right. And not even to say that this is political. It's not political.
Fuck it, get it political. This is when me and Joe were at the whole goddamn thing. When these
Because this is
scumbags
the
were
thing
over
that
there
pisses
forcing
me
us to
off,
buy
right?
shit all the time.
Yeah.
This is the thing that pisses me off, right? So Joe Biden, Barack Obama enacted a healthcare bill in order to try to encompass everybody into one healthcare plan, governmentally owned.
Not
correct?
true.
Not true.
No, not true. No.
I mean,
No.
that's how they
you know.
Yeah.
Also,
they
not
greased
even.
it up.
No.
They greased up the stick before they jammed it in everyone's ass.
Here we go. Okay. What the government did was they said to themselves, wait a second now. All healthcare insurance companies make these record profits. Trust me, we know there are campaign donors, right?
Yeah.
Why can't we monopolize a certain part of that market and guarantee profits no matter what by forcing American people, whether they like it or not, to buy the Affordable Health Care Plan Act. And if they can't afford it, they're on welfare insurance anyways. This way, the number looks so much better when we say, look at how many more people are covered under this plan. And then they'll throw in another number, which no one knows if it's true or not. Look at how many lives were saved because of this health insurance plan that, in all honesty, has been Bob Dole's plan since fucking 1988, running with that idea.
100% twisted around and bastardized and manipulated into a different bastardization of a plan. Yes.
Well, that's the thing, though. The right now, economically, the Affordable Health Care Plan Act acts identically to how the post office acts towards UPS and FedEx. It does have some ground control to prices not going up and up and up. And then somebody saying, hey, can I have health care now because I have cancer? And they're like, oh, fuck, you're denied.
Pre-existing condition. Fuck you.
You have any pre-existing condition, you can't get it. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Isn't that why you should have it? You have a condition.
You would think so. You would think so. So it was a lot of, when creating the bill, it was like watching a house, not even a nice house. It was like watching a mediocre house being rebuilt on the same ideas, that from the same argument standpoint.
It's okay to call it a shack.
It's not even a shack. It's a functional house, right? If our healthcare system was anything, it was a functional house, right? That lives week to week. Okay.
There you go. Much better.
Hey man, most of America's living week to week. You see the inflation on everything. And you got Joe Biden lying on Twitter saying inflation's down and the economy's doing great. And it's like,
fuck you,
dude, how
Biden.
could
How
you
about
even
that?
say that? How could you even say that? When he's been in office 50 years, has he gone to a grocery store anytime in the past 3 years?
No. But either has his son. His son has done more for prostitutes than he has ever done in his career. How much crack has Joe Biden bought a prostitute? Okay. Limited, if not zero. In fact, Joe Biden has been throwing.
All right, Kevin, we're not making this political. We're not making it political.
I'm not. Yeah. What's political about this? We're on the 4th of July. We're just talking about how many of Hunter Biden's friends did Joe Biden throw in jail?
Oh yeah, all right.
Besides his son, actually.
So, hey, let's. How can we switch gears? What else we got going on?
Well, Joe, what are you doing for the 4th of July? And by the way, if there's nothing going on, lie to me. Lie as much as you'd like. I'm going to lean in, acting as interested as possible into your either fake plans or real plans. So what are you doing for the 4th of July?
I have real plans. I can't announce everything tonight because I still got like 1 or 2 people I got to talk to. But the one thing I do want to announce is one of my teammates down at LCC is working with the Scranton Independent Gazette newspaper and doing a artist column on local musicians, and we'll do some national stuff. But I wanted to talk to you guys.
I wish I knew what local musician or two. That'd be nice.
Well, you guys do, right?
Who do we know?
You guys do the fucking competitions.
Nah.
We do know a lot of local musicians. We have them on here every now and then. They're very cool people. The Scranton Independent Gazette.
Yeah. So
wait a second. It's what everybody asks for in Scranton. If you take it into an acronym, they're asking for a SIG.
A what? Asking for a what?
Scranton Independent Gazette.
Mm-hmm.
A SIG.
Yeah. It used to be the Wilkes-Barre Independent Gazette. I don't know if you remember them from back in the day.
I remember them. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, I guess they relaunched a bunch of stuff. But I got one of my friends down at LCC a job doing the music stuff. So I want to try to bounce off with you guys. And I've talked to you about this behind the scenes. When you guys get actors and musicians, if they need a little extra spotlight, we could get them an article in the paper.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no problem with that. Absolutely. That's a great idea. So they actually have a physical paper, Joe? Is that what you're saying?
I think they do have physical paper. They have the website and everything. They're active on Twitter. I've recently just reconnected with them over the past 2 or 3 weeks, but really excited to get some stuff going. I got like 2 or 3 people that I know that I'm going to try to work with and get them out first, just because I've been working on getting them as guests on the podcast. And tomorrow I'll make more announcements about the podcast itself that I'm doing. And I'd like you guys to be one of the first guests, honestly, because you guys had me on a couple times and it'll be legit.
I mean, it's always legit.
Yeah.
So we always like to
brighten up the
show.
I'm gonna try to pull my professional journalism card out and my professional hat a little bit and stop being so internet info warrior.
You really are. You really are.
Oh,
yeah,
definitely.
like you said that you said, you know what? I'm not posting anymore. And then it's like you were
50.
holding in a fart there.
I can't help it, dude. I can't help it.
You let out a shitstorm of fucking diarrhea.
I saw this one conspiracy theory and it kind of reminded me of you. I was gonna tag it, but then I'm like, why not?
No,
it says oh no, this one's really out there, but I liked it.
If it's flat Earth, dude, keep me away from the flat Earth shit. I don't do the flat.
No. Flat Earth has
That's the one thing he doesn't mess with. Aliens, A-okay.
A-okay, so you're gonna like
about
this
a
one.
dynamic of interdimensional travel.
No.
Sign me up. We're talking about flat Earth. I'm out.
No, I mean, I'll play with all the stuff, but it's like there's certain conspiracies. A lot of the stuff I talk about, I could back up with documents. There's a lot of stuff that I speculate that's happening in real time, but the majority of it is legit.
So this has to deal with dinosaurs evolving, not being extinct, but they evolved into what we know today as aliens. So they've been alive and around for that long, and they lost their tail. They started standing upright. They kind of did the whole, the monkey evolution thing. Well, they did the dinosaur evolution thing. Did you ever see that one? Yeah, the reptilians and all that nice stuff. So they went out.
All right, bye, folks.
Idea.
Bye, everybody.
I was kidding.
It was just an interesting visual, and I'm like, do I tag Joe in this one?
Yeah,
I did not.
Hey, yo, you can tag me in whatever you want, man. I don't give a shit.
Tony, what you cooking up over there, pal?
I know how to take a joke. What do you say?
I love it because whenever we're talking about something or saying something, Tony, what do you got there, buddy?
No, I was looking at an article, and it's like the worst article that I could probably look at, because I'm sitting here with 2 reformed alcoholics who, have gone past their trials and tribulations into something else. But I don't know if you've seen, but the wonderful people in Slovenia have come up with a revolutionary idea. Revolutionary. And you may be saying to yourself, wow, free healthcare, let's cut taxes.
They've already
We're going to cut emissions. We're going to go totally solar.
literally talking about the whole country right now. That's how they've
Well, no. In the wonderful in the wonderful country of Slovenia, they're now offering free beer to their Fred, that's right. You did hear me say that. Free beer.
I will
all across
be back next
the
year.
country.
Yeah. No.
Joe's out of here.
Finally.
If that's not the only way to fight homelessness.
Finally, a politician I could get behind. They're finally giving out something good. No.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself, in the lovely town of Zalek, Slovenia, this dream has come true, and it's the first town in the world that has this service, and it has quickly become one of its main tourist attractions. Now, let's say the city of Scranton starts that, and they're like, we can get tourists to come into our lovely town, because you know what? We've had many of beer distributors, many of beer purveyors.
Beer shops, churches.
Well, Scranton has a different kind of attraction. They have they have the coal mining tour there, where Scranton gets
sadness, black lung, and depression.
Yeah, that's what talk about what you know.
Whistle
That's all they
white.
know. That's all they know.
They do say in this lovely article, with a public fountain where the beer is coming out of, they've actually put in public tap systems all across the city, where people can just like a Homer style.
Okay, for our non-visual viewers, listeners out there, Tony just did what I can only describe as milking udders from the sky. There's some.
Driving the car now.
Yeah, I forget that there's audio and video. I'm not used to that all the time.
So Joe, did you like we had our Podguyz podcast commercial out there? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah. I meant to bring that up too. I'm glad you said that. I have one problem with it.
Uh-oh.
I was supposed to be in that.
You were supposed to be in it.
Oh no, we'll get there in time.
We need you in the next commercial. It's it's an easy write, because me and Tony were actually on Sparky's grandfather's back porch or lake house thing or whatever the hell. And I said, Tony, it's going to be so easy to get Joe in this thing, because all we got to do is just like give him like the shirt after he's done rapping, and then he could rap again. It's like, it's going to be really easy right to it. But yeah, Tony came up with the idea of the sweatshop thing.
Sweatshop. Okay.
That's what the Podguyz podcast learning center was.
I'm down to do whatever. We could bust jokes on whatever. I don't care. I look at you guys like the Chappelles or the Steven Crowders or something like that of the area. And and that's what I like about it. You guys have like the comedy side of it, and it works.
Nice. I tried having Tony just nail in something and do the old fashioned TV thing with the back to music and crap, and then Sparky shoveling non-existent water, with the thumbs up thing, and then chasing with the chainsaw, just as an eye grabber, just as like, so that way if you're looking at it, you're like, okay, But yeah, we gave it a shot. We got 2 more sketches lined up. We're gonna funnel them out next week. I got them on my phone there. And
nice.
So just
tag me in them, whatever, but I think we should really get together sometime in the next coming months. And you guys watch Steven Crowder's skits at the beginning of a show before. How he acts them out, they do the dress ups. We should work on something like that. I think you guys have the writing capability to do it. Definitely.
It'll be really easy. The sweatshop one took about 5 takes, because I messed up on 3 of the 3 takes in a row with the dialogue, and Tony's daughter Emma laughed so hard on the one take, and I'm just like, all right, now I know, at least I know it's funny now, right?
Yeah.
And then we got it on the 5th take, which is good. And then, Tony with the hammer thing and the little prop of the music thing, that didn't take too long either. So we don't.
Well, we had to dance around a lot of rain, which was unfortunate.
Just a little bit. But yeah, the way we work kind of fast with the idea where normally there's always a bad weather condition. So we couldn't have always picked normally when we all have time to get together and kick some ass and make something funny, it's like the weather is never good for it. But
yeah.
But I was like, it doesn't matter who's going to be in it or who we can get or who has work or whatever. Let's just get together, get the goddamn thing shot and be done with it. And Sparky said, well, I don't know if I can be in it. I'm going to be doing work up at my my lake house.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me paint you this picture. Joe, I'm going to paint you this picture real quick. Okay.
Okay.
So me and Kevin, we're in a conversation. I'm 3-wing. We're we're thruppling, right? Me, Kevin, and Sparky on the phone, right?
Thruppling?
And there we are thruppling, and we're talking, and we're like, hey, what do you want to do? And he's like, I don't know. What do you want to do? I'm like, well, Sparky, what are you doing? He goes, I'm working that day. And I'm like, well, dude, time's up, time's a wasting. What are we doing? And he goes, well, I'll be working. So if you guys want, he's like, I'm available for sometime in the afternoon. And I said, all right, man. I said, you're leaving for camp this week. He's going to work up in New York. And I'm like, all right, man, we need to get this done because our timetable is really, really short. Like super duper short. So just to give everybody a little round of a round of the timetable that's available here. We had literally 1 week to work in a time frame where we needed to get everything together, get everything planned out, everything on tape, everything edited.
Not really 100% correct there, Tony.
Split the coop.
Not even 100% correct. Hold on now. So
Okay.
We're doing this on a Tuesday, Joe, right?
Yeah.
We're doing this on a Tuesday. On Monday into Tuesday, we're still in these fucking squares. We're recapping. We're trying to figure out guests for next week. By the time everything's said and done. What's that?
Yeah, I think that was the week I was on.
This was multiple weeks. Yeah, this was last week though. So you were on 2-3 weeks ago. But
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
So by the time we're all ready to roll, we're up at like 8 a.m. We got like maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Like, okay, guys, let's do this. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what the polite thing to do is when you're getting a ride from somebody, hey, guys, do you want anything? Do you want anything from the store real quick? And Tony says, a Red Bull. I'm like,
a Red Bull, a donut.
Yeah, then his kid says, a chocolate bar. I'm like, any chocolate bar there, kid?
Anything.
Like, any chocolate bar. So I'm like, all right, well,
Red Bull and chocolate bars. That's all you need.
Red Bull, chocolate bar. So
that's how you got to do it, though, because I know from my experience, a lot of the opportunities I get, even just coming on your guys' show a couple times, it was a half hour before, 10 minutes before.
Spur of the moment. Very much spur of the moment.
Sometimes if you're serious about your craft or whatever you're trying to do, or sometimes opportunities come at that last second moment and you could back out and you might not ever get that chance again. But if you arrive at the moment, dude, that's how my life has been the past year. So
let me try to paint this picture real quick. Okay. I'm not trying to interrupt you.
Jackson Pollock over here.
Just trying
just
to
using
paint
layers
a beautiful
of shit.
Jackson Pollock here. Yeah. So me and Kevin back and forth. We're like, dude, we got to get this. And this was for like two, maybe even 3 weeks. 2-3 weeks ago, me and Kevin had talked about getting more stuff for the podcast and getting more information, trying to get stuff on tape, trying to get people together, and just trying to work out a timetable.
Yeah.
And this is where Sparky comes into the picture and he goes, I'm not gonna be here. I said, all right, man. You know what, you do what you got to do. And that's when he was like, yeah, I'm going to New York and I leave in a week. And I said, all right, man, we'll get something together. And that's when Kevin and I were like, all right, man, we got to get this shot as quick as possible. So, I mean, our timetable's winding down. And the first week we had looked at it, and we looked at each other, and I was like, Kevin, I don't have time for this, man. I got a family, life, job.
Yeah, you got your regular obligations.
You got all the stuff going on, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, all my empty days are being taken over by something else. And I'm like, all right, always in the grind.
Yeah.
So a week goes by, 2 weeks go by. And I'm like, Kevin, all right, man, we got to get this on tape. And he goes, all right, man, let's set something up. He's like, you pick the day, we'll get something on tape. And I said, all right, we'll shoot for Tuesday. Let's do it. So when I talked to Sparky that day, he's like, I gotta work on the lake house, and I'm pretty much not gonna be into this.
So you guys go up to the lake house.
I told Sparky, I said, Sparky, isn't that
Sparky.
Weird? That's where we're shooting the commercial, up
Yeah.
at the lake house.
Oh,
Hey,
really?
well,
No, that wasn't even the original. That wasn't the original. It's supposed to be done at my house, right? And I was like, Sparky, I'm like, what do you mean you're not going to be into this? He goes, I got so much work to do that I'll be up at the lake house, and then I'll come over after. And
See, you guys got him drawing in
said,
pictures, man, and he can't stop.
yeah, so I said to Kevin, I said, shit. I said, dude, let's just go up to the lake house. We'll get this done. I'll pick your ass up. And then we'll drive out the lake aerial for Sparky's lake house. I said it's a perfect.
Oh,
and
that's
it's
where that
beautiful.
was. That was a nice spot. I was thinking, wow, I'd like to hang out there.
Beautiful, man. It's a beautiful place.
That's
Absolutely.
what I love about Pennsylvania, though. Pennsylvania, you know, it has its people and its policies and stuff, but the state itself is a beautiful place to live.
Really, really nice. So Kevin, out of the kindness of his heart, since I had to travel all the way up to Wilkes-Barre, he's like, hey, man, I'll be nice. I'll buy you a drink. And he's
I'll
like,
get you a
Emma,
candy
what
bar.
do you want? She's like, I want a candy bar. And Kevin threw it into a bit. He's like, oh, what do you mean just a candy bar? Like, that's all you want? And she's like, yeah, that's all I want is a candy. Like, children, you're paying children in candy. You know, that's where you've gone in your life.
So the original sketch was for me and Tony with the song to do like a little dance together, right? You know, really try to push that envelope right there. You know what I mean? So we tried. And Tony's like, well, how are we gonna shoot it? And then the only thing that hit my head was stability of camera, and the very tough possibility that it's not gonna look right. And I said, you know what? I got a backup idea that, and I tried explaining it to him a bunch of times, and he got it. It was just from that point on, it's just camera angle and timing of the whole thing. So we got the hammer done in sync with the song. By the way, I have no internet up there, so it's not like I could play the song and fucking like do it. But I'm thinking to myself, well, you know what the song sounds like, so just try to imagine that to the hitting of the hammer and see if you can get the motions down that way. And it came out pretty nicely in sync right there. I slowed down the last frames of the whole thing with the chasing of the chainsaw sort of thing, which is cool, because why not slow it down? It adds that extra little disco dramatic Scooby-Doo kind of effect back and forth sort of thing.
No, Joe, by the way, we fucking dogged the bounty hunter this whole shit.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I say that is because we came upon a discovery out of fucking nowhere, and it just happened to make us famous.
Yeah. So this is what I'm proposing to do for stuff, for promos for both of our stuff down the line, is we get our guests that are locally involved in it. Say somebody owns a shop, like say they own a deli or something, just as an example. We come up with a skit and film it in their deli where like we're giving this local shop some spotlight, but we're also acting out like our own commercial at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Commercial inside of a commercial. I'm totally down. But a quick word from our sponsor.
It is. It don't have to be a
Fireworks
commercial
today so far, Joe. Ocean Gate Fireworks, where you can find all of your fireworks safely in your backyard, installed by Ocean Gate. Ocean Gate Fireworks doesn't guarantee a safe holiday. They just guarantee there will be a holiday. Ocean Gate Holiday of Ocean Gate Fireworks is the only fireworks store that has remote control fireworks. So the only time that they've ever had problems with the remote control was when having that submarine implosion with the.
You guys seen my little meme? The government sent a real team, Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, and you know what, Scooby-Doo, they would work. They would work out just fine. But yeah, a commercial inside of a commercial. I mean, yeah, it sounds cool, man. You know,
no, I mean, it don't even have to be a commercial. It could be. It's just like promo. It don't have to be. Oh, come to the shop or whatever. But you get the general idea. It could be a musician. It could be an actor. It could be whatever. We could. I got a brain for ideas, dude. I've been planning stuff for years and years and years, and I haven't met people that are passionate enough to do it. So I've been putting myself out there, seeing who's real, seeing who's really trying to do something in podcasting, in video editing, in photography, in music, and just all forms of entertainment.
Oh yeah, because you do have a lot of talkers and drinkers out there. Normally they'll drink a beer and they'll talk a while about what they're gonna do. And,
I can tell you about who's real here on the Podguyz podcast.
But what
you Patrick Warburton there?
Find people that are talented. Find people that are talented. And this area is, I've been doing this a long time. I took a couple years off. I tried to make a music scene. I did the independent media scene. I've been down this road before. So I'm trying to learn from my mistakes. I'm trying not to
the best way to do independent media is to not be independent, but call yourself independent media anyways.
Well, that's what most people do anyways. But let me finish my thought. So there's these talented people across the area. And I noticed that once you start gaining a little steam, you catch a lot of hate because it's an average class, working class area. So you get this jealousy, you get this envy. And what I'm trying to do is just dead that. There's no, I might be political, but I'll work with Democrats, I'll work with Republicans, independents, white, black, yellow, whatever, you're trans, LGBTQ. I don't really care.
The yellows, they're the toughest.
They're the rough ones.
There's issues with all that stuff, but the general statement needs to be, we could come together, we can make our communities better. And if you guys do comedy, this guy does music, this person does movies, this person is just a good parent. And
I think what Joe is trying to, I think what you're trying to provoke there is you're trying to weed out the bad culture, which there's way too much of, right? And organize it in one specific area so that way all can learn and help each other grow to the next. Joe, what you're describing here is college.
It's not, though. It's not, because I look at what I'm saying is it sounds like a centralization of stuff, but it's more of a decentralization. We're all doing our own separate things, but we're not enemies.
I know. It's just
that might be made up. That might be a pipe dream. But
it is a pipe dream because it takes away all negatives of human nature. Now, you're trying to, I think what you're trying to profess, and I want you to hold on to this one. What you're trying to profess is emotional intelligence, because people can't feel happy for each other anymore. Instead, they'd rather talk shit because that's what gets crowds agreeing. You know, that When,
Yeah.
when people start, when
And I'm
people
guilty
start,
of that. I definitely trigger.
People start
a
foaming
lot
at the
of
mouth
different
and
stuff.
shit.
and we've been victims of that, and we've been antagonists of it as well.
Same.
We recently posted a video of two crackheads lip syncing poorly to a Rihanna Eminem song.
Yeah.
And here,
I saw
I got one comment down there saying, "Hey, it looks like they're having fun. Why, oh, why are you making fun of these people? How dare you?" And hey, valid point. We shouldn't be making fun of people that look like they're having a good time. Unfortunately, it looked drug fueled, and they put it out there for others to view and entertain through their own scope.
And pick apart.
And and from that point, you get criticized and critiqued.
Yeah. And I'd agree with that because I did catch that. I follow you guys pretty closely, so I watched some of the stuff, and I agree. It was definitely a drug fueled thing. The one thing that I can proudly say is when I was in a drug addiction, I stayed out of the public view.
All right, just now we do have Joe A. Uncloned.
2
A
years.
video of him.
Well, dude, the people in the video kind of looked like they started off huffing a rag of dirty cement glue just to start things off for the day.
Yeah,
like,
there's dirty needles on the ground everywhere.
Like they look like it looks like
They look like they came from the trailer park behind the trailer park.
They filmed that.
Like they rented from the behind shit. Yeah, it looked like they had it looked like they had on the list of groceries. It looked like they scratched off toothpaste, not because they bought it already, but because they decided something else like cigarettes were a better idea.
Yeah.
Well, they're menthol cigarettes, so they should keep it minty.
They're renting.
You guys
from
heard
the
about the
she shed
menthol
next
ban,
door.
right? You go to the gas station, you see that little sign, the menthol and flavored cigarette bans.
Yeah.
Total control freaks, man. Total control.
Gotta love it. The nicotine companies have found a way to constantly rebrand their nicotine through either tobacco or now they got those little patches out there that your boy Tucker Carlson was bragging about. He's like, this my daughter's boyfriend who is currently plowing my daughter, giving it to her every day and every night, said, "Hey, I got something for you to put in your mouth there, Mr. Tucker Carlson." And I said, "Oh, really? What is it?" Thinking he'd whip out, a cigarette. Oh, God. Oh, God damn it, Tucker.
No regrets.
Yeah, he was promoting that idea. And then you have the guy who kind of it's easier to listen to as two cats fucking than RFK Jr. Like if
oh man, and that's the thing. Like if you listen to what he's actually saying, it's some decent stuff, but his tone of voice is really hurting him. It really is hurting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of like pan out. It's almost like somebody took an empty bag of potato chips, right? And they said, "Hey, Alex Jones, shove this into your mouth." And he's like, "Like, what the fuck are you doing?" And they're like, "Quick, while he's talking, try to start a lawnmower."
Yeah.
Snap
But-
it.
Did you guys noticed though? Since you bring up Alex Jones, there is a lot of people that agree with him these days. They sound a lot like him.
I'm sure the people that don't agree with him are the actual dead children from Sandy Hook. Probably.
Oh, that's a low blow, Kev. That's a low blow.
I mean, hey, if he wants to stand up on the podium and be like, "Hey, man, I got a Ouija board here."
Yeah.
And
you guys seen the famous clip of him where they're saying like whatever, I forget what the guy says, the lawyer, but he's like, "What do you mean, like Jeffrey Epstein did?" And then they show Joe Rogan go,
I would offer him a piece of pizza that was made by pedophile vampires from a different dimension. I'd say, "Would you like a slice of this?" Is the best.
Oh, that whole Pizzagate thing, man. That's you believe in the mainstream media now. And actually, Ben Swan, even a real good journalist, Ben Swan is a real good journalist, and he even fell for that stuff.
They've got the pedophile vampires down there. They are raping the children. This is what they're doing with the aborted babies. Dude, I've heard him say it.
Damn.
I'm not making this shit up. He's literally said the words. The pedophile vampires are from a different dimension. They're coming down there. They're in the basement. Basement can't be seen by a naked eye of a human. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this guy is, and this, by the way, Tony, this is not the first time someone has ever gotten out of control on the radio and just started making up shit. Orson Welles used to do it.
Yeah.
Way back in the day. And it was so convincing. It was so compelling that people thought the world was going to end. So you have you can certainly portray a certain rhythm in your voice and make yourself anything sound kind of believable enough to the point where it causes hysteria and panic alone. Hell, look at the fucking
100%. Yeah.
And that's not, and the weird thing is you kind of know what the weird ones are, right? So that's kind of comforting. If I hear like an Alex Jones say something kind of weird, I'm like, sometimes you're like, all right, if he said the CIA did it, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, right?
Yeah, he's usually pretty right about CIA.
Here we go.
The worst ones of the media are the ones that are proclaiming themselves to be the real news, when they just have these shitty little CIA talking point bullshit artists out there where they're throwing darts at a board. One hits a 2, one hits an 8, one hits a 3, and then they'll say, "Oh, the word billion sounds better than million." We did a group study on people, and they say that if the government says the word billion, well, now we know it's something to be taken seriously. So they hit the number 2, the 8, and the 3, and they put the word billion on it. They pick a country next to a bordering country, and they say Ukraine is the winner. Bing, bing, bing. We'll take all of Afghanistan's laundered fucking money and throw it right into Ukraine and see how weapons work when it's back and forth. And of course, the news can only make themselves look a lot of racist by saying, well, we normally don't see white countries act this way to each other. Holy fuck. Are you serious? Have you ever seen Storage Wars? People
Kevin, what's my
favorite on each other?
Kevin, what's my favorite pastime? As far as like trying to pass time, what do I do better than everyone else that you know?
You are really great at training dogs how to fight.
No, I watch unrelated crazy videos across the web. So I'm not a connoisseur by any means.
No, you are an expert in the white trash, white on white violence.
I am an expert in white trash. Perfect.
Tony's got his doctorate in white trash right here. He's got a fucking degree on the wall.
Here it is. It's my white trash education.
Education.
See, this is the thing. Some people might have that misconception about me. All he does is watch YouTube videos. I don't do that. I read the government documents. I go on all their websites. I know a lot.
I try
more.
to be entertaining. I try to be educated.
For anybody that's saying something about me, I know a lot more than I put off on the internet. I come off as like a dickhead on the internet, actually. Everybody that's come in contact with me in the past month, I keep getting, "You're a nice guy. Oh, you're pretty bright. Oh, you're pretty smart." The Joe Armstrong off the internet is a lot sharper than the typer, especially when I got a. You see this? I'm working with a cracked screen. I can't see everything I'm typing.
Cares about your Samsung.
Your phone's on. Your phone's
anyways,
on Hunter Biden.
But
there were several videos this week. Several videos that came across the web, right? Such as the Ugandan president. Have you guys seen this yet? The Ugandan.
No. Ugandan president.
Well, this is why I'm here, Kevin. This is why I'm here. To share the education, to share.
This is what I should have asked you earlier, Tony. Hey, what's going on in Uganda? Instead of, hey, Tony, small talk 4th of July? Nope.
Yeah. If I was going to think of the one African shithole that the news would come out of, I would have picked you.
Hey, Tony, what's going on in Algeria? Well, Kevin, I got that right here. Oh, really? Cool.
No, and you know what? It's a great country. I know some people from Uganda. They hate it there.
You're sending money to Uganda.
So anyway,
you sounded like Donald Trump right there, man. You're like, I know some great Ugandans.
I know some great people. I know some great people who live in
not too many
Uganda.
Ugandos.
It's a fantastic
you know what I mean?
country.
If you're from the area.
New York Times is gonna fact check this. Uganda is not actually an okay place. It's a great place.
Yo, I swear to God, right? Swear to God. My one friend, I actually call him Uganda John because he's from Uganda. He is actually from a tribe in Uganda. Fantastic guy.
Plays the bongos and everything.
We had a conversation.
I call him Uganda John. You know, he's friends with a guy named Uganda Joe. Uganda Joe knows Uganda Mo. Uganda Mo knows Uganda May. And they all get together and they play the bongos.
Anyway.
Whatever he was saying.
I hate you all. Stop it.
Wait, you don't got Uganda.
So the Ugandan president came out and he came out in a statement where he was like, the Russian army needs to stop. The Russian army needs to stop its invasion of Ukraine and end all this madness.
Go drink vodka.
Yeah.
No, keep going.
No, and it was just crazy because now there's not even a third world. I think they're a third world country, wouldn't they be? Like Uganda?
Yeah, I don't really trust too many of the translators over there when they're interviewing people. What they're probably really saying is just like, so what do you feel about, how do you feel about Vladimir Putin? Putin is very angry man. I stole his pudding one day in first grade. Never, ever talk to him again. What a dick.
Well,
they're like, oh, we can't put that out there. So let's put something else out there. Like Zelensky's a hero and la, la, la. You know, I'll quote Ron Paul, real heroes don't get us into wars that we don't need to fight.
It's true. It's an unsung hero of the tainted story. So of course the Ugandan president said end the war and all this stupidity that's coming in from Ukraine and Russia and blah blah blah. Now, when they had first started with China and Russia, of course they were just trying to make the dollar bill turn into shit. The whole subsidizing of cash to make it into the yuan, right, Kevin?
Well, who was trying to turn the dollar bill into what? Were you mean the
rupee? Russia and China were trying to turn the dollar bill into shit. They tried to get a whole bunch of companies or a whole bunch of countries to back them up.
No, not okay. So not exactly, to be honest with you. So the rupee was destroyed by U.S. sanctions. So by China doing continued business with Russia, through profits of the U.S. dollar, they're bolstering up the rupee back to where it normally should be on the worldwide economic market. So it's not like they were attacking the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar could never be competed with because we already have the happiest volunteer slave work from China, a whole country full of them, right? Full of people willing and ready. And, you know, we even have those subverted countries out there like Vietnam, South Korea, and we have nuclear bombs to back up all of the US dollar. So people like to see that we're $33 trillion in debt. Well, divide that by infinity, and it kind of looks like we're down by change. We're not. It was put out there by your normal, your ragtag crew of CNN, MSNBC, and fucking Fox News saying, "Ooh, China and Russia are trying to destroy U.S." How? Or is China going to cut their own dick off and somehow China's going to get a conscience and say, "Hey, we're not going to sell the U.S. anything anymore, and we're going to call their debt."
No, that's actually not what's happening. They're making a lot of alliances where they're doing certain transactions without the dollar with France, Saudi Arabia, Iran. South America, Brazil.
Well, lucky for us that they. Oh, that's great. So good for them. Now all we have to do then, Joe, is we literally would have to buy our oil off of China, who just bought it off of Saudi Arabia, right? Saudi Arabia has a currency agreement with America that their currency would be worth half of Americans' currency, no matter what, right? That way, the higher up America makes, as far as the bigger America gets, Saudi Arabia gets taken right with them, just by pure alliance alone, right?
But they're doing backroom deals with China, though.
If they're doing backroom deals with China, they're kind of screwing themselves over. So imagine America sending China over there to buy a bunch of oil on a little bit of the cheaper, and then we just buy it from China anyways.
See,
at
the
a much
funny
higher,
situation is that
at
the
a
only
much
one
higher
actually
denomination of
benefiting,
currency.
the only
What's
one
that?
benefiting from this whole situation is China, believe it or not.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
No, I believe that. I believe that
Russia's not to say that they're not making a dime, but you know what? They got rid of years and years of back inventory from their war that they're just trying to outsource anyways by prima donna fighters.
Kind of tough. It's kind of tough to convince me. It goes against all of the Chinese nature of their people, right? The most passive people in the whole entire world that could be pushed around by America at the fucking snap of a finger is now saying to themselves, no, we'd rather be pushed around by Russia. What
I think
China really is doing.
That's why I said Russia's not on top of the whole situation. China's on top.
There's actually, in all reality, there's no situation. The only situation is that Russia has right now is U.S. sanctions against Russia right now. And a majority of the major ones have been lifted because everyone needed to heat their home last year. So they were just like, hey, we'll lift one here, lift one there. And then we're back to hating at each other because.
Yeah. You see what's going on in France over the weekend?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So the French people are trying to overthrow their government. And no one's talking.
It's been crazy.
No one's talking about it. Yeah.
The mayor of Paris.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that too?
It is wild. I didn't see the firebombing his house. I seen a lot of the footage. Woo!
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
They tried firebombing his house. They tried kidnapping him. They tried an assassination attempt. All this past week.
I study history, and France, the big world events a lot of times happen in France. It seems like for some reason, whatever France has, and I know a lot of the history, but it always seems like the uprisings start there for some reason.
Well, you know what they do have, Joe? They have less mountain range than Germany, right? So you have a whole area for people just to, and right in the center of Europe, basically, right?
Yeah.
As far as population wise. So you have the most amount of traffic throughout Germany and France. Now you have a lot of science going on in Germany, engineering and all that nice stuff in France, back and forth throughout that like little keystone of,
of Europe. You're definitely right.
So what ends up happening is like art, religion, all that nice stuff. People's with their free-forming ideas. You get a lot of everything going on in France. So it's just plain old location. Now, when it comes to their revolution, listen, these people are good for every 200 years. They're ready to fuck up their own government.
Yeah, or less.
They're ready for it. Now, my favorite story about France, I love the story of Napoleon, right? Where here they sent him away, right? They sent him away to the Falkland Islands. They said, be gone. And Napoleon, you want to talk about a person with a strong constitution right there, right? Builds a fucking boat, right? While stuck there on the island, he builds a boat and he rows his ass all the way back to France, right? Just in time for the French Revolution to happen. Here he gets off the boat and people say, holy shit, is that Napoleon? And he looks a little disheveled because he literally rode from the fucking Falkland Islands down towards South America back up to France. And he says, yeah,
Did you know that he actually wasn't a midget, by the way? That was the myth.
Yeah, it was a myth because they used to do things in 13ths of inches. That's why the baker's dozen came from. Yeah. It's just different units of measurement. But anyways, he says, yeah, he's like, I'm back. I'm back. Why? What's going on here? It looks like a lot of fighting. They're like, yeah, help us fuck these people up. And he's like, yeah. And then they put him back in power so that way he can come over to America and sell Thomas Jefferson, the slave owning, prostitute fucking clown that he is, some land that he didn't even own anyways. He just went over there. The Louisiana Purchase was not
on the third.
The Louisiana Purchase, what $478 million What the fuck kind of number is that? Napoleon was ahead of his time when it came to fuckery like that kind of stuff. So the French people, it's kind of in their blood to do something so crazy like this again. And you know what? It had to have been coming, because it's not like,
you know why? I'm gonna bounce up, because the Rothschilds and the bankers were puppet stringing that whole thing just like they're doing right now.
yeah, when the only real consequence is throwing people in prison and not solving their problems and not representing them correctly. And you have big families out there with a lot of money and all that nice crap too. So, but hey, that's not worse than what happened on January 6th, Joe. I was watching TV and it felt like I was there on January 6th when I saw people break glass. Could you believe? Hundreds and thousands of small shreds of glass were on the ground that day. Man, oh man, bruises on people's eyeballs were forming around where punches were thrown, and doors were opened by pushing and pulling, and all sorts of shit were going on there. That was a breach. Holy crap, my democracy felt like it was in the balance of being pushed backwards. You gotta be fucking with me. We got rigged elections, and not rigged in the common sense way where you're like, oh, well, you mean I pressed the one button, it really did the other button? No, we have rigged elections when it comes down to the fundamentals of representation through money. There's never been a person in there that's ever said, hey, I'm really poor and I got some good ideas. You should listen to me. They never have that. Never, ever, ever in American history has that ever happened. We've had fucking presidents from day one put their goddamn face on money. I'm sorry there, Tony. We have
preach,
Tony.
brother, preach.
No.
Preaching.
We're showing the flag
Preaching,
on this
brother.
one. That's truth, man. That's truth. The whole thing. Keep going.
You want to hear something really funny, Kevin?
What's really funny, Tony, that we should love our military, right? Because without our military today, we wouldn't be here with all the freedom.
You're right.
Wait a second. Hold on. Without our parents having sex with each other years and years ago, we wouldn't be here with our freedom.
The deep burning thought
Actually,
of that.
hold on. Without alcohol, we wouldn't be here when our parents were drinking the alcohol because they're not good looking. And they, giving them the courage to look at each other naked and start fucking, and then having us eventually
a little bit.
And, well, actually, it's about our great grandparents.
Because I scoured the internet, Kevin. I scoured the internet because I hear great stories. Did you know that there was an assassination attempt on Vladimir Putin's life?
Get the hell out of here! Who would want to kill him?
Where to
That look was great.
So the funny thing is, right, is that there was a tugboat captain that was under the bridge that I guess Vladimir Putin does this travel over to get to his summer home or something like that, right? And apparently he was told to stop.
Wait a second. Hold on. Wrap that back up real quick. Hold on.
No, I got to roll this forward.
Okay. So just to reiterate, there was a tugboat. You're saying there's a tugboat
Kevin,
involved.
Save all your questions to the end because this
okay. I'm fucking writing down tugboat here because I got to keep.
So this tugboat apparently went underneath the bridge and was under there for about an hour or two while the KGB were investigating why this tugboat was under there.
Now, does the KGB have anything to do with the LGBT?
They might.
Okay, because they're all letters. Okay.
So MI6, the KGB, the whatever the hell they're called now. I don't even know what they're called.
MI6 isn't that gang that was all the rapists going through the
MS-13.
That's MS-13. Okay,
MS-13.
so we got MS-13.
MI6.
All right, I knew it was. I knew it
Mission
started with an
Impossible
M.
6. Yeah,
we're gonna add all of them next month.
Yeah,
next,
whoever these guys are called,
2.
right? The Russian Stugotsi or whatever they're called.
Oh
right?
wait, we got a comment coming in here. Somebody said LOL. Is that one of them?
It might be. It might be the LOL group.
LOL
So-
plus 2.
So this Russian group, right, I guess, goes over to the tugboat, and they said, "What are you doing here underneath the bridge?" And he goes, "I've had an order to fix the bridge for weeks now." And they go,
Okay.
"Nope, you're planting bombs. You need to be arrested."
Oh shit. Oh shit.
That's why.
Damn.
Welcome to fucking Russia.
Well, that's why if you go to oceangate.com right now, you can save on explosives for your favorite assassination attempt on either Russian or U.S. officials, French too. They're all over. They'll deliver to your house, and you will have that remote control ready to go at any time. No, Tony, let me fall back here.
Make sure you have
Well,
fresh batteries.
Everything you're
Andy.
saying there just sounds like the beginning of a bad Daniel Craig Bond movie, where you're
For
like,
an extra fee, we will add a Russian mail-in bride.
Yes, yes, of course. Beautiful virgin.
yeah, my Russian bride came with the dick. Can I get her removed?
For the
And they're like,
Fourth
well,
of
if you get
July
that dick
deal.
removed, you better put her on a Bud Light can. No, I wouldn't.
Why
do
is her
that.
name Ivan?
Hey, I did see something. Wait, let me see if I could bring the headline up. It was something about Ice
Wait,
Cube.
we're gonna go back to Kevin on this one. So, Kevin, please.
Yeah.
What was
Oh
your?
no,
what was your
it just
question?
feels like a bad. I said what I had to say about it. It just feels like a bad Bond movie setup where some guy's fixing a bridge and you know that he's really trying to. It kind
Bridge,
of also
yeah.
has the feel like remember at the beginning of Die Hard movies where you're like somebody should notice all these men moving in groups,
Yeah.
in synchronicity with all
Yeah, yeah.
blonde hair while all also wearing the same thing. But yeah, it's it's tough,
So
man.
isn't this a great setup though? Like, could you imagine being a Russian, let's say a road fixer or like a bridge superintendent, and you're just going out to do your duty the one day, and like all of a
Oh
sudden you're
yeah,
getting
no, the guy
arrested.
was completely innocent. Where he's
Oh
in
yeah, he was
jail.
completely innocent.
He's
but
in
they were
jail.
like,
Yo,
no,
that'd be
he's
great if he
planting
was
bombs.
in jail with a bunch of fucking, people that were also just doing their job. Like, what do you do? I wake up for work one day. I'm candlestick maker, so I have long wick, and they said I'm going to blow them up with
They
dynamite.
think
I
I
have
have bombs.
now hold on. I have long wick attached to red candlestick wax. They said it's dynamite. I go to jail. KGB knocked me in the head. I've been here years. It's like all right. Well,
I haven't seen my family in years.
I just drive van full of explosives.
No explosives found on the boat. No
I
explosives
didn't
found
watch
under
what
the
this is
bridge.
about, but Joe Rogan, this is a headline from Benny Johnson's YouTube. Joe Rogan, Ice Cube, and Kid Rock team up to destroy Bud Light. I'm
I
not sure
saw
what that's
that.
about.
I saw that clickbait thing, and
Yeah.
it is exactly just clickbait right there.
So
Honestly,
what is
there's
up with the Bud Light thing? Everybody's hanging on to this Bud Light thing. It's
Well,
not
they,
that big of a deal.
it's not. You know what? I tried writing a joke about it before because everybody was really exaggerating as if something was going on, right? Where a guy is running in a field screaming to his friend who is masturbating in one hand and then holding the Bud Light can of what he thinks to be a woman in the other hand. And he's screaming to his friend in the field saying, "Stop masturbating!" He's screaming that much running. And he's like, "What? Why would I do that?" And he's cranking his shaft while looking at Dylan Mulvaney, but he thinks it's a woman the whole
Oh, I
time.
thought this was Dylan Mulvaney.
No. This is how people are acting. People are acting as if you are masturbating to a can of Bud Light, blow your load. Then you really, the whole town got together. They're like, "Listen, we all masturbated to that can of beer. All right. The face looked womanly enough, but now we have to pray for our sins." as if
I don't
that
know the
happened.
whole. I could see
As
why
if somebody
the-
died, Joe,
That's
and
what's
then
happening.
they went up to the pearly gates and they said, whoa, we were going to let you into heaven for all of eternity. But we saw you were masturbating to a Bud Light can of Dylan Mulvaney down there. And worst of all, you blew your load. Huh. Well, off to hell with you. People were acting in that, and it kind of.
Yeah, when
kind
you
of
see it that
pushes-
way, Kevin, it is a little insane.
when you put it that way, it feels stupid, right? It feels a lot of stupid.
Yeah.
Real of genius. See, I fixed it. I didn't say the gender. Instead of real men of genius.
That was pretty
Real
nice. It was nice.
days of genius. Please don't assume
Our
my
next commercial is
pronoun.
going to be Kevin.
Don't assume
masturbating
his
into
pronoun or her pronoun.
Our next commercial is going to be Kevin fake masturbating and then a T-shirt popping out of his penis.
Yeah, that's how I just come in Podguyz podcast T-shirts that can be found on merchbooth.com under the podcast section.
I will not be tuning in for that commercial.
No, we're not going to show. We're not going to show. We're just going to have it all assumed.
Simulated
masturbation.
Joe, simulated
Masturbation right there.
We could all just fucking sit at the lake with a can of Bud Light and say cheers.
Have some kid
honestly,
come
that
up
would
to me and be
probably-
like, "Hey, mister, what you got there? Something big and great." And then bam, pops out the shirt. Here you go. It's a little wet. But put it on. Kind of like that Alan Arkin scene from Little Miss Sunshine, where he looked like a very considerate pedophile. If you didn't know that was a grandfather, if he didn't know that was her grandfather, you're like, well, that guy's a pedophile, but he seems all right.
So you guys think Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are gonna end up popping in the ring?
Yo, it's definitely happened.
I have a big feeling. I'm dead serious, man. I have a feeling that they're gonna put on the VR headsets because this is how nerds fight. They got the VR headsets. They're gonna go.
It's happening. It's happening for real.
Yeah,
are they raising money for something, or are they just?
They're gonna raise it for donations to their favorite charities.
Okay.
And what's gonna happen is that Zuckerberg is getting trained by somebody famous. I don't remember who it was. And then
no, it was Musk, Saint Pierre. Saint Pierre, yeah, that's how you say
Saint Pierre,
it.
who is in the in MMA, UFC.
He's a good fighter.
A great fighter, fantastic fighter.
I like
he's
him.
Gonna train. Yeah, he's gonna train Musk. Get him in shape.
Yeah. Hey, more power to it, man. I went down and visited the guys at Wilkes-Barre MMA like 2 weeks ago. Great group of guys. I'm going back down there on Wednesday. Nothing crazy, just to try to keep my brain and my body in a good space, hang out with some old friends. I know 2-3 dudes that go there.
Grab onto some dudes, rip them around, roll on the floor with them a little bit.
Hey, don't be doing that.
We'll
Bud Light.
hang out in the
Drink
steam
some
room
Bud
together.
Light. You know how we do.
Hey, you don't work out here. No, I
No
just
Bud
hang
Light
out.
here, baby. This is Arizona Energy.
Is that Arizona Energy? Is that what it is? Because you know what? I guess they called New Mexico Energy is just meth.
Yeah.
No, I actually never did meth.
Oh, it is. It's the RX is
I've
there.
been seeing them aliens in Vegas. Maybe I need to do something just so I can see a fucking spaceship.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just all do shrooms one day on the podcast here.
I'm down. Fuck it. Right about now.
It'll enlighten your
You
mind.
might be onto something. You might be onto something.
No,
That would be epic.
You know what I'm into? The end of this show.
The end.
You guys are trying to turn this into a Tyson podcast. You be licking toads and shit.
I don't know what licking toes you're gonna do. But
real quick, Tony.
Real
quick, you have to kill one of these people. Do you kill Vladimir Putin or Dick Cheney? You have to kill one.
Do I have to choose, or do I have to wait for another episode of the podcast?
I'm glad he's not asking me because I know my answer right off the jump.
Okay, Joe. Right. We'll save that for next week, though, so that way, if one of them die, we don't get arrested.
True.
True.
Kevin,
we
where
don't
can
want
you
to
find
promote
us?
violence. We do not promote violence.
No,
you can.
no.
You can find us on all your streaming platforms, Facebook Live, as we are live right now here on Facebook every 10 p.m. or 10:15 p.m. live on Facebook. We'll be on Spreaker, Rio Dijo, of course, Spotify. We have a very big following on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube
we have new
as
ones.
well.
We have Podbean.
Podbean.
Yeah. You know what? We've actually had some crazy followers lately, right?
Okay.
Australia.
Yep.
India.
I got some Australian people today.
Yeah. India, England, Sweden.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
And so the word is getting
that's
out there.
Hey, I'm back on YouTube. They unbanned me last night.
Unbanned
Yeah.
Joe Uncloned on YouTube. So if anyone out there is wanting to
You
listen
should
to
just
some,
change your name to Joe Unbanned.
Joe,
Joe
you're on
Unbanned.
Spotify
I like
too,
the
right?
unclone thing. The
Are you on
unclone thing. What's up?
Are you on Spotify as well?
I will be. Anybody check my Facebook tomorrow. I'll be making more announcements on what's coming down the pipeline. I will be on Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and hopefully I can work the kinks out with Rumble. Rumble's a little hard to upload to.
No, you're right on that one. You're not the first to complain about Rumble.
Yeah, it's a great platform, but the uploading takes so long. I don't know if I need to like upgrade my.
Yeah, we've seen what you
internet or
do on
something.
Grinder, let alone Rumble.
Yeah. So no, I support Podguyz podcast. I didn't even hear all what you said.
That's
But,
okay. I said you the
He
post
said
that you have on
something-
Grinder.
Yeah, I
Listen,
never been on
Tony's
Rumble.
been freebasing Bud
Yeah.
Light for a little bit of time right now. You know what I mean? If you catch my
Yeah.
drift.
But no, I appreciate you guys having me on again, and we got some stuff coming down the pipelines.
Nice.
Hopefully.
So I hope you
Let's
guys
see
are a
it.
part of it. You guys are one of the only people I see doing anything that's worth watching around here.
Hey,
And-
we keep it very consistent. That's what we, either we're hitting home runs or we're striking out base hits. Either way, we're showing up for the game.
Same.
Lacing up every
Same.
every Monday.
And that's the thing. Like, we can find a lot of different people, and I'm trying to do some things.
Well,
So,
if you're trying to do some things, Joe, there's some various artists that are performing at the Hudson Servicemen's Club at their open mic that they have every Friday now. I think they're doing it every Friday now. Get in touch with Dave Savage or Steven Detweiler if you'd like to.
send me something in my on a text or a message or something.
Sure, I'll send you.
'Cause I know
Know,
how to spell
even
it.
for our listening audience out there, if you do want to get in touch and you do feel like you have the need to portray your talent out there, obviously there's no pay, just as an open mic to see how your sound is in a live audience, or if you have some jokes to tell, get in touch with Dave Savage or Steven Detweiler for a spot.
Yeah, and I would even bounce off if you guys want to come on this show, your guys' show, or if you want to do something with me, reach out.
Oh, hell yeah, Joe. Hell yeah, absolutely.
So,
Agreed.
well, we wrapping it up.
We're
We
wrapping
are
it up.
wrapping.
Thank you
We are-
guys for
we're
watching.
into
I'm Tony
overtime
Kaz.
right now, man. This always happens when you pop on. We always get into overtime, which is
That's
some-
because I'm a
which is some
talker,
good
man.
stuff.
I could just keep going, but nah. Happy 4th. Celebrate your independence and your liberty in whatever way you feel free. Just don't hurt others. And don't support the New World Order because they're crushing everybody's freedoms across the world. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, you tell them.
Jip.
Yeah, like submersible explosions.
It's not, hey, I'm not getting into that, but the New World Order is a real thing. It's not some made up thing. It might be like a generalization term, but it is a real thing. So that's all. That's my message.
All right. Guys, thank you very much for watching. We are the Podguyz Podcast. Make sure you like, share, comment below. We always like to hear what you guys want to what you want to say, what you want to hear. I am Tony Kaz.
I'm Joe Armstrong. 17.
Kevin near here.
Wow, he even jumped in right before you, Kev. Your internet
got it.
hanging in jail.
Hey, we don't want dead silence.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll tune in next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.
Peace.
Uh-huh.